Did you know a fixed shadow is art? At least that is what photography is known as. Through different scholars' journals, today we're going to be learning what camera obscura is. The reason why this is interesting is because it is something that everybody uses in this day and age as they use their phones to capture photos. But what's the history of it? The reason this is interesting to me is I'm an aspiring photographer and a teacher who said in passing, they said any person can take a good photo, but what makes a great picture is knowing the history of photography. So we're going to dive into how it is captured, effects of understanding, and how it is used in everyday life. So first off, what is camera obscura? Camera obscura is the natural phenomenon where light is focused through a tiny hole in a dark room. What happens is when light is focused, it's going to cause a live projection of the outside world in a inverted upside down projection. Henceforth, this tree focused through the point and it's upside down. Ancient Greeks knew about this and it sparked the curiosity, how do we capture this moment? There was no tangible way to capture the moment. Only things such as art, silhouettes can be taken done. And there was even thoughts that someone named Johannes Vermeer of Delft, between the time of 1632 and 1675, excuse me, had used the process of camera obscura to capture the photorealistic artworks that he has created and known today. Alrighty. Next up is to understand that camera obscura is affected by distance. So the further away the wall is from the hole, that means the foreground's going to be out of focus, but the background will be in focus. But move that hole closer, the foreground, hence imagine I'm in focus, but behind me would be blurred. And so understanding camera obscura allows the user to capture through its art. If you're wanting to capture a moment from outside, you need to understand how to put the subject into focus. Alrighty. Now, how to capture it. There's a process known as, oh goodness, excuse me. All right. There's a process on capturing on light sensitive material called daguerreotype. It is where you use light sensitive metals through a lens to capture an image. The way the image is captured is the light sensitive metals is having camera obscura projected onto a metal or any type of surface that has the light sensitive metals on top. So it's going to go through something called a lens. It's going to do the process through a pinhole camera where the image is going to be inverted, projected right onto the metal surface. It allowed for the first capture of camera obscura, which is entirely new, and it allowed for photography to become more accessible. But daguerreotype was only the start. When it came down to the rapidly developing techniques to capture photos, it soon became accessible to the general public through a company called Kodak. Kodak figured a way to capture daguerreotypes onto a paper film where a user can use a tiny little camera using camera obscura, take a picture, send the film in, and Kodak will develop it using their solutions. Main solutions at that time to get rid of the soluble metals that was light sensitive was through alcohol. Alcohol got rid of the metal surfaces and helped to create contrast onto that surface, showing the entire grayscale instead of black and white. And explained by the article on the frontiers of photography, Carl Helmholtz and the Kodak camera shot, the Kodak company created what was called the beginner camera, where instead of it being an informal and very strict type of photography, it became something that became more leisurely, capturing the everyday moments. It allowed for instant shots and instant moments to be captured as not before. In conclusion, camera obscura is the base point of all of photography, and better understanding what camera obscura is allowed for the new developments. Just like everything being upside down, camera obscura after daguerreotypes were invented I turn the unknown world right side up to capture a moment with ease. Thank you.